Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lowe's PC. And more importantly, welcome back to the War in the Pacific play by email game against Invictus. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone is well. So we're back at it. And we got a couple of things I think I kind of want to do and check and keep an eye on. Last time we had a bit of a worry over with our kind of invasion force heading towards Sumatra. Hopefully that's something that will be covered now, but we will wait and see. So, we kind of just want to keep an eye on things and make sure that we are giving ourselves the best chance not to lose ships, not to lose infantry, and keep up the offensive early on in this campaign. That is our big issue that we need to kind of get on with. Is making sure that we can keep on top of that kind of momentum and keep it moving. We've obviously got to be careful that we don't get too excited and jump too ahead of ourselves and make sure that we don't make too many mistakes. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we are kind of dealing with issues and trying to, as I say, keep that momentum up. Things like finding enemy submarines, for example. Because they are a pain in the backside. Invictus has used his submarines extremely well so far in this campaign, and we've managed to kind of succeed in kind of getting back, you know, against some of his submarines. But in it's not been as effective as I would like, and those submarines are still very dangerous. So we've got to be careful with that. And I think that's going to be the situation for the most part. Those submarines are going to be dangerous. Now, one of our own submarines there, the I-6, was struggling off the coast of the USA. Not really a surprise, to be honest. But we will, hope that if ours is suffering, then maybe some of the other Allied submarines that we've hit in the last few weeks are also suffering. But I don't know if they all are, but we will see. We will have to see. That's all we can do. Now, of course, something that we are really curious about today is our, airborne deals and missions. So just kind of keeping an eye on something then. Just because I think it is super key. There is a lot of bad weather, which is not great. Got a bit of raids going on in the north of China, doing some decent casualty damages. Nothing significant though, but some. Having some of our planes damaged. Still not really sure where the AVG, the Flying Tigers, have disappeared. We kind of tried to hunt them down a little bit, and we did manage to deal with them. Now, something that we might need to perhaps look at is maybe moving some zeros into other areas. We have a lot at Ripple, which is good. We'll need to expand those and set them up further. But yeah, I think keeping an eye on what's going on with these zeros will be very useful, because obviously they do give us an advantage early in the campaign. They are much better than a lot of what the allies can throw at us. So we do want to use them, but at the same time, we want to make sure we're using them in the right spots. And I think that's something maybe that we've not been as good as Japan. So we'll have a look at that, but there's more significant things that I want to change, some plans that I want to change. Now, we do actually have some zeros here over the wildebeest. Now, this is better. This is what we wanted. And this is very good. Annoyingly, still 3 wildebeests got through. Luckily, no damage. But yeah, that's much better for us. Finally, so to speak, we've got that air cover. Now there we go. I was about to say these Hudsons aren't really getting destroyed, but now they are. So long as they don't do too much damage to our ships, then we don't need to sink all of them. But then this is where it's going to be a bit of a problem. Particularly like the swordfish, because the wildebeest seem to be throwing bombs, which... dropping bombs, which is fine. But the swordfish I know are kind of planning on using torpedoes. So yeah, and there's a lot of them here. There's another heavy cruiser. Oh my god, we got lucky there. A hit but no explosion. Ooh. Okay. Okay, we got lucky there again. Oh god, there's still more. Oh, okay. Oh wow. They're doing a port raid? This is bold. I mean, in a way, this kind of does work out a little bit for us. Because if we manage to shoot down these buffaloes, it does kind of reduce the defenses of Singapore by a bit. The problem we've got is these are obviously part of the Kido Butai, the Akagi and Kaga, fighting these. I obviously didn't really want them to hit Singapore. I think that's the wrong thing to hit. And we are actually losing zeros here. We're gonna skip through it because it's gonna take a long time. Yeah, and they've really got into our Kates and did a lot of damage. And there's not a lot there really. I mean, there's some cargo ships, sure. Not really, you know, fantastic, to be honest. And we lost a lot of Kates there. Yeah, that wasn't good for us. Because not only is that a lot of Kates, that's a lot of pilots. We need to make sure we're checking on some of these things, because some of these have not been good. Not been good at all. Trying to hit another submarine, but just rattling at the moment. Some damage, but nothing serious. Oh, okay, now it was. It did eventually take some damage. Ah, gosh. Okay. Still some more depth charges. You know, rattling, but nothing too serious there. Honestly, I just can't get over those Kates. How many of those we lost? Okay, bombardment attack at Clark Field. Now, we want to just kind of let the Allies keep bombarding us at Clark Field. Now, obviously, one of the problems we do have is, you know, we want to deal with the Philippines as quickly as we can, get moved on, etc. But, you know, at the moment, what we're doing is pretty good because it is using up the Allied supply. We are taking a few, quite a lot of casualties. How are we not breaking this yet? Tarakan is just holding, and I feel like it's just going to hold forever. And Brunei, also not captured. So yeah, we are taking casualties, but a lot of them are just kind of wounded troops. And we have supplies in Manila. As far as we're aware, the Allies won't get supplies over to here. Therefore, you know, in reality, oh god, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not good, but it's not the worst. Okay. So, let's have a look at the Kido Butai, see how that is doing. Well, not the Kido Butai as such, but the Akagi and Kaga. how many bloody aircraft they lost, and you know how rough that was, because that was extremely rough. I think what we'll do is perhaps turn the flights off and maybe set them for ground attack. But I think that's what I had them set to, but then they must have gone, oh yeah, we're going to go to attack the port. Let's just have a look. Okay, so... Oh god, we did lose loads of them. How many pilots we got? We still got 26 pilots, which is good. So we didn't lose loads on the Kaga. The Akagi... Oh god, that's only got 5 serviceable aircraft. They lost a lot of pilots. Fucking hell. Okay, so it was the Akagi's units that took the most. Yeah, they... Well, according to this, they're on naval attack, then ground attack. So let's put them on ground attack. Pummel bang. And hopefully they don't do anything stupid. Set for all Kates, torpedo bombers in this hex. They're on ground attack, that's fine. Now, what I think we want to do is stick these on long range cap. I think that's going to be better for our zeros. Again, we did pretty well at managing to stop what was going on with the the Akaga, sorry, them like not being able to actually hit units, but obviously it's something that we do need to kind of be careful of. Now, we're going to make a very late change and a very late diversion. We're going to hit Oosthaven instead. Now, the reason why we're going to go after Oosthaven is because it's a little bit, you know, safer for us. We're going to try and shift at full speed, though it's not going to make much difference, I don't think. No, mission speed's fine. It's a little bit safer for us going that way. And at the same time, we also have the Congo, Haruna, etc. That what we can do is we can set them to go and bombard and clear out Oosthaven as well. Again, we need to maybe sort out their... It does fire close to Batavia, but again, if we do have the Kaga and the Akagi on there, then it shouldn't really be a problem. So, that TF routing, let us use waypoints. Waypoint 1. Waypoint 2. There we go. Now, if we replenish these at sea, be okay. We can always get someone to follow them. So I think what we can do is set these to bombardment. Done. And I mean, it's the Congo and Haruna. Ah, they don't have a lot of ammo. Okay, never mind. Sure. I think we can send these back. I mean, they're here just in case something ends up appearing, basically. So yeah, then they can go back. How's the Atago doing? She seems okay. We'll keep an eye on that. But she seems to be making it back pretty okay. The Hokes and Maru looks like she's going to make it back to Saigon as well, which is good. So that's all good so far. So far, how are these doing? They're taking their time, but they're almost there. Elsewhere, we should have stuff moving down towards Kuala Lumpur, which can move on from there. We've got our units, like the 38th Infantry Division, moving towards Clark Field, which is good. How are we looking in China? How far long before they get into combat? They're not moving. They're not moving. They are maybe in a couple of days. Okay, and there's also some guys down here. Bombardment, please. Go see what's there and deal with it. Okay, again, not actually kind of the longest turn really here. You know, we've got things that we know we're doing and things that we know we want to do. We are going to need some supplies down there, so let's get a couple of form UTF, cargo. not in TFs, and then cargo. Let's get a couple of AKLs. And set destination, Nauru Island. I can offload some stuff there. Okay. Now, we did have our scouting aircraft up. Hopefully much better than before. Haven't seemingly seen anything, which is obviously a bit of a shame. But it's fine, obviously, you know. More of the point of trying our best to keep an eye on stuff. And we seem to be tightening the noose around thingy as well, which is pretty good. Now, these are here to load up these troops. The 52nd, verify load, accept, set destination to Boona. Get landed on there as quickly as we can. Now I'm going to move the 44th Regiment to deal with these Australians that are kind of hanging around, because they're kind of doing a nut. But yeah, we'll get those sorted. We do also have more amphibious stuff there, but that will be for a little bit later on. Just a little bit. And what we got here? A load of fleets. A load of like air units and stuff. Okay. So that's fine. How are we doing on the building of bases over here? It is expanding quite quickly actually, which is good. Because it will allow us to start bombing Port Moresby quite quickly. Hopefully. Do we have any other naval units? Not there. How are we getting on over here? They are loading those troops, the 53rd Division. They are getting loaded, which is good. Taking its time, I think. But I think that was because it was getting itself into... Strap move? I just want to see... What's on the boat? Oh, hold on. It would be easier if I literally did this. Yeah, it was getting itself into strap move, so hopefully that will be loading up quite quickly now. We do have a load of Naval Guard units in here, due to go to kind of Southeast Asia, Southeast Fleet area, but again, we need to wait for our AKs. That's being prepared. Let us have a look and see if we can just turn a couple of these into troops. Yeah, we can. There we go. Just a couple for AKTs. And then that will be able to take some Naval Guard units down and we'll be able to sort them there. Okay, let's have a quick look at the weather, see what the situation is. Rain, which probably might mean that we don't do too much flying, which is kind of good for us. Thunderstorms in China, so yeah, not a lot of flights, I don't think, today. Radio transmissions at Merrick. Okay, so that is a little bit worrying because that's Merrick there. So the Kiso has got an ALF. I can't really set on a map. I want it to kind of search that area there. So as we move towards it, it should be able to tell us what is there. To say, Oosthaven is not the worst thing to try and hit. It'll allow us to slowly progress up towards Palmerbang. Does mean that Palmerbang is going to be protected by the river, which is, again, a bit of a nightmare. But it means then we have a base here. We can move units if we need to, etc., etc. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's going to be the big issue. Okay, now what I am going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a ballsy risk. I'm going to get these using drop tanks. I want to transfer these guys to... Can I make it? Yes, they can. I want them to move to Thailand. The reason being is I'm going to stick them all on rest just for a couple of days. These guys are going to start sweeping over Burma and try and get rid of anything that is up there. Now, what we could do as well is actually get them into what you call it, towards Singapore. Like, I'm wondering, is it worthwhile flying a load of nates towards Singapore with some Oscar support to try and destroy those buffaloes once and for all? You know what, we're going to do it. Now, it is raining, so they might not be able to. I'm going to move a load of them over there. It's a shame we can't really upgrade them just yet, but it's fine. Okay. So, the Ants can go back. Transfer to base. Sure, they can go up there to Singora. Everything else is fine. So, what we can do, sweep, take cap off, select target. Singapore. Let's go for 15,000 all fighters at this base. So, even the nates should be going crazy using drop tanks. Select target, maximum range. 8. It's too far. Shit. Okay. Then that idea is you know, shat on. Okay. Means we're going to need to take something else. I mean, Kuala Lumpur has been taken. Where have we got a load of spare Air Force bases? There is a base force moving in Stratmove. Where is it going? Go to Bardo. Instead of going there, go to Kuala Lumpur. Still moving by rail, but we can then use it to fly over Singapore. Okay. Okay, I think that's going to be okay. So we're going to leave it here for today. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Do remember to do the usual, like and subscribe, because it does help us out massively. If you do that, drop some comments, come join us on the Discord, you know, all that usual stuff. But we will see you very, very soon for some more naval action. Have a very, very good day. See you soon. Bye.